let's look at the difference between a for loop and a while loop in terms of a countdown code. So let's do some kind of a countdown, maybe from 10 to 1, and let's start with a for loop. Okay, so this is going to be a for loop, countdown 10 to 1. So go ahead and get a new notebook up. And I personally use for loops whenever the number of cases is known in advance. So I would actually use a for loop for this task. Okay, so for loops will always start for I in, and then what are we in here? Well, this is a range of numbers. So we're going to use range. It would be starting with 10. Now, if we're going down to 1, it's always inclusive first, meaning 10 is included. 0 would be excluded. And to go down, we actually want to do -1 here, right? That's a count down. And then from here, we could simply print the number, which is I. Now, if we want to be more enthusiastic, we could turn it into, say, an F string, and we could add an exclamation mark to it. So let's just try to have a little fun with this. Okay, and what comes after the for loop is the instructions. It's whatever we want. We don't have to change I because that's set here in the range. It's going to go down each time. So let's get that up and then go ahead and run the code to check it. Press Shift Enter, and you can see we have a countdown. Okay, so now let's do this using a while loop. Okay, while loop countdown. So I think while loops are better for sort of waiting for conditions to be met if you don't know how many tries it's going to take. But you could certainly turn for loops into while loops. So let's look at the code for this. Well, we would set our number. If we're going to use I, we could use I or in. I starts with 10. Now, the condition is simply going to be when it's greater than 0. So well, I is greater than 0. And we would have the same result, which would be to print out the F string with I, with an exclamation. But now we actually need to set I equal to I minus 1, or I minus equals 1. And so the while loop requires that additional condition where you have to make sure that you count it down. And this is another reason why people get stuck in infinite loops, because you don't have to specify that inside of for loops. Okay, so let's try this. Press Shift Enter, and you can see it does the same countdown. Now, let's do a real countdown, right? Code, in this case, and in many cases, can be too fast. So let's do something fun and different. We're going to import time, all right, and not time it. And then I think we can do something called a time.sleep. And if we put in 1, it does say seconds. It should do it 1 second at a time. Okay, so watch the difference. Let's see if this works. Get that time sleep in there. Press Shift Enter to your code. 10, 9, look at that. That is an actual countdown. How cool is that? So, love it. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to do it again down here with the while loop. And you can set it before the print. Get the indentation lined up here. And we'll try it again. Press Shift Enter. 10, 9, 8. It's a real countdown. Very cool. I think that's a lot of fun. Blast off.